Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, where we put the emphasis on the proper syllables. We are here to bring to you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the world. The news that makes your heart feel something. The news that pulls the grooves from your loins and makes you feel like you're... I don't know where your loins are going to go or what you're going to feel from them. You know what? Keep your loins to yourself. We're just here to tell you about the weird and crazy news from all over the world. That's what we're here to do. We're here to spread that love, spread that joy, spread those butt cheeks. Let's get this going. I'm your host, Steven.
Tuned back in at that part.
Host, Steven, joined as always by the amazing, the wonderful, the incompatible Smashley. Smash, let me tell you about a website I found called Cameo. Have you heard of this Cameo? It's
no, I'm in the DAR Cameo Club, but I don't
okay,
think
no, that's not this at all. So this is Cameo's neat, right? Like Cameo's kind of cool because during COVID, which we talk about every Wednesday night on Staring at Goats, 8:30 p.m. here on Twitch. Since there's no cons, there's a lot of celebrities out there who are like destitute, you know? They have no way to go and get autographs and hugs from their adoring public. Ralph Macchio's not out there at the convention getting $30 an autograph. And that's causing them, you know, great personal difficulties during this time. Actually, I have no doubt that it's definitely bit into their normal yearly salary.
Yeah.
But Cameo is now a place where you can go and you can pay a celebrity X amount of dollars to leave you a wonderful little phone video message like, happy birthday, dude. I'm so happy that your parents wanted to get you a thing for me. What's awesome about this is
I thought you were going to go with I'm so happy your parents did it.
I'm so happy your parents did it so you were born and stuff. But no, it's really, so it's kind of neat. But I've been looking through there trying to find, like, who's the most expensive person, because you find people like Jim Cummings, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Darkwing Duck, etc. Voice actor. He's on there.
Oh, Tigger's voice always made me want to just like slightly homicidal. Anyway,
look,
sorry.
That's because you're broken inside somehow. But so you can pay him like I think he charges $150 for a video from him. But one of the people on there is an adult film actress.
Okay.
So we're looking through there. I'm like, wow, well, most profile pictures from the people that are on these things is their face. Yes, their face. And they're like, look at me, and you're going to get my headshot, and this is it. The porn star that's on there is just a butt. It's just her butt is the thing in the whole thing. So Stephanie and I are looking through this, and she's like, who is Camilla Carson or something? I was like, I have no idea, but I think I know what she does for a living, because it's just like... And she was like, why would she use that picture? I was like, it's probably how most people are going to recognize her.
She couldn't use the other side.
She couldn't use the other cleavage. So it's just butts. I think she was like $350. But the one that was most expensive, $1,000. You're going to like this one. And I want you to tell me whether you think, no, Jerry Ryan, I don't think she's on there. Trisha Helfer is. Trisha Helfer? Helfer, yes?
Battlestar,
yeah. She's on there. I always get those two confused because they're both like space ladies. But I'm
so offended for both of them right now, but I understand.
You know where I'm coming from. Having not watched either of these shows, I'm basically your weird uncle just going, what, them space ladies? They're hot. But the most expensive one is the girl who played Emily Binks on Hocus Pocus. Emily Binks is in that movie for a grand total of 40 seconds, and she costs $1,000.
Wait, so the girl at the very beginning of the movie who got eaten?
Sure, yeah, who got her life force sucked out of her, and also appears as a ghost at the very end. Sure, if you want to get real technical.
What else does she do that she's worth
nothing.
$1,000?
Nothing. She does nothing. Like, I tried to find out, and there's just nothing. She's just Emily Binks from Hocus Pocus.
Do you think it's because they're redoing Hocus Pocus and she thinks she can bank off of it?
You can't be Emily. You can't
It was
be.
a typo.
You can't be a movie.
$100 is
Right? $999. You cannot be more expensive than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was $300, I think, was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Who would you pay $1,000 for a cameo from?
Is this me myself $1,000, or is this me with more money $1,000? Like, do I get? Are we talking about me in real life, or like, oh, Steven's got money to spend?
Well, no, you in real life, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. I wouldn't pay jack crap to nobody $1,000. There's nobody worth $1,000 for. So I get nothing other than a video that says, "Hey, it's good to see you, person I don't know and can't interact with on the screen because it's just a one-way video." If it was a conversation, sure, $1,000 sounds like if I get to sit down with somebody and pick their brain over something, some awesome thing that if Tom Hanks would carve out 2 hours just to chat with me about fripping typewriters, I might go, $1,000 to hang out with Tom Hanks? Maybe.
Okay, yeah. You've got a really good point, because it's a one-way. Okay, so if you were gifted like $100,000 bonus, who would you spend 1,000 of that on for a one-way butt video?
For a one-way, like just to get a butt video from them.
Yeah, well, I mean, whatever you want from them. I'm assuming $1,000 would buy you butts.
Wiener pictures. Is that what we're after here? No. I don't know. Probably who's cool? Like, are there cool celebrities now? Who would I even talk to? Probably still Tom Hanks.
Talk to them, right? Isn't that the point?
Oh yeah,
they
probably.
Just be like,
yeah, if it was if it was the equivalent of $1 based on my my bonus, I would probably still want to see Tom Hanks. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
okay.
You're
I
awesome.
see.
Frankie
says Oprah. Patrick Stewart. Steven's talked to Patrick Stewart.
I have talked to Patrick Stewart. I have met him. I have chatted with him. You
got him to say Charles, which was really cool.
Charles.
Yeah. You can hear it in his voice too. That makes me so happy.
We've stumbled onto him on accident. The parade at DragonCon was going on, and me and Stephanie went in the back door of a hotel, and it was like Patrick Stewart signing autographs. Like, Patrick, there's nobody in line. Like, that can't be. That must be for later. And it's like now, and we're like, So we walked in. We're like, well, holy crap, there's like
Steven went in the back door.
8 people in line. Yeah, let's go get Patrick Stewart's autograph. Who wouldn't do that?
DH would do Mark Hamill. Oh my gosh, DH, his Joker, Mark Hamill's Joker is it's the best Joker. Like, hands down, I will accept no argument from anyone. It is the best Joker. Like, the best Joker. The best Joker, period.
Oh.
What is this gigabyte bullshit? I'm about to throw a screen out the window. It keeps stealing my mouse from me.
I think that Jacob was fighting with that before you sat down. He thought he had it taken care of. I did just confirm that Emily Binks in Hocus Pocus has been in one movie called Hocus Pocus. Nope, that's it. That's all she's been in ever, and she wants $999. Like, there are things you can do to pay artists for cool stuff. Like, two lead singers, guitarists I like do song shops where you can tell them a story and then they'll write a song for you based on your story. Max Bemis of Say Anything does it, and Matt Pryor from the Get Up Kids does it, and it helps them make some money. And you get an actual thing from an artist you like.
Yeah,
But they charge. Max charges $150 for a 3-minute song. Like, that seems that's a pretty good
I would
price.
do that. That's cool.
That's a birthday present or a Christmas present,
Yes. Yeah. I don't know who I would spend $1,000 on for a video.
You don't like anybody enough. Maybe Arnold. Would you get Arnold to talk to you for a grand?
Yes.
I could see that. Like, maybe only Arnold ever. We really should do that show.
I don't know that I like anybody else, but just to have him leave a video. I would listen to Arnold.
Yeah.
I'm
fascinated by Cameo. We were looking on there because Sam's having a SpongeBob birthday. We were like, I think the guy who does SpongeBob is on Cameo. The dude who does Squidward is, but not the dude who does Space Ghost is on there. George Lowe's on there. You can pay him money.
The guy would shine your shoes for $12. He'd sing you a song while he did it.
Hey, whatever you want, man. I'll just pay me money. I love
he's
George
like,
Lowe.
I'll do it. Just I'm going to charge you.
Yeah, I'll do whatever you want, but I'm gonna take your money. You're like, fine, that's good, whatever, sure. But yeah, Jim McFly was right. He is on the list. He is on the list. Justin Robert Young's on the list too. To get closer to home. I feel like you could just call him.
just bug the shit out of him enough, and he will come on your show.
He'll come talk to you for a while. Anyway, I've had a good time going through Cameo. It's like the safe for work version of OnlyFans. Except for that one porn star thing. That was weird.
You just the butt. The butt makes me happy.
What kind of person? So you ever go to wallpaper websites and you're looking for wallpapers and there's just scantily clad women all over it, and you're like, who?
No, most of the time my wallpapers are like, I look up fall leaves or like kawaii anime.
Well, sure. I mean, and that's what you should do, but I've been to wallpaper sites before, and it's like scantily clad anime characters all over it. Or I've gone to like because I'm a nerd, and I look at other people's like workstations and stuff on Reddit. You go there, and you're like, this is straight up porn on your desktop, sir. Like, this feels like a bad place to just put boobs. Not every time I minimize an application, I get to look at boobs.
Subject. I figured your wallpaper would be a raven with a beating heart in its mouth. I love black, white, and red wallpapers. Love them. So if I had that, I would do it.
Where's Audie Norman at?
I know. I do have a lot of crow wallpapers, like just red, black, and white. I love red, black, and white. It makes me happy. I want to roll around in its wonderfulness. Okay, so one of my girlfriends texted me today, and she was like talking about wearing sweatpants. She said, I'm at the park because she lives like she can walk from where her house is to the park, and she won't go on the weekends, but she'll go early morning weekdays because nobody's there. And she said, I'm at the park. She said, I'm in, she calls it her saggy titty shirt. Because like nursing, your boobs get heavy and they drop, but you don't want anything tight because it hurts. It's like if someone just squeezed your balls, like just put enough pressure on it. You're like, those are gonna pop. I'm gonna worry about it. They go pop. I don't like it. I get off my balls. So, but yes, your face says everything right now. So you wear saggy titty bras because F the police. She's like, the woman was in a push-up bra and had these really tight jeans on, and I'm like, how? So we ended up having this conversation about why we still value like the 1500s, like where your boobs. Like, hey, what's up? Booby. And I'm like, why? Why is why is that a thing? Like, that was from so long ago. I'm just like, because guys at one point were like, your giant memories make my wiener hard, and I must not be concerned with that, so you shall bound your boobies so I may not think about them. I'm like, okay, can our lymph systems be free right now? Can we not? I don't want to wear a bra.
Then don't
it hurts.
Don't wear bras. It's not illegal. In North Carolina, it is legal to walk around topless if you want to. But
right, but at the same time, if you see a chick with her boobs flopping everywhere, like, because even me, I'm just like, good Lord, woman, put on it, like.
Yeah, pull those things in. What are you doing?
Yeah, right, no, but wait, like, the nursing bras are legit, because it's just, there's no padding, there's no underwire, and I'm like, this is enough support, so I don't feel like my boobs are sad. But like, I also don't have them like shoved up under my throat, so you can't tell if I have an Adam's apple or not.
Yeah.
I don't know where any of that came from.
That's a good point. Bras. This is why Victoria's Secret's going out of business.
Yes,
because women are just like, F Victoria's Secret. I want comfortable underwear, which used to, you would say Victoria's Secret has the most comfortable underwear because they were better than JCPenney or Sears. But now there's like, the internet has introduced you to the idea that maybe we don't have to buy underwear that doesn't feel good.
Yes.
And the most comfortable is now not Victoria's Secret. The most comfortable is the thing, and that's great.
The cotton strappy bra.
Yeah.
That lets your boobies. Okay. So boob sweat's a thing, Steven. I'm assuming guys get like nut sweat.
Yeah. I mean, that you get you down in your gooch area, working outside, chopping wood. You got swamp booty. It's one of the main reasons I love that we have a bidet on all 3 toilets. You're like outside, you're working real
I love
hard.
the word gooch so much. I have a friend and his last name is legit Gooch, and every time I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, there's sweat. Anywhere where skin overlaps skin, there will be
Skin,
sweat.
yes.
Duh.
Skin on skin. But so cotton. So okay, the other thing is like most bras are not made out of a natural fiber. So you get like these polyester bras, and so not only do you have skin on skin like enveloped envelope boob sweat, but you have the fake fiber put over top of it. So it's like
Yeah.
extra boiling Satan's balls. So I'm just like, what? Like the people designing bras have never worn them before. You need cotton. You need like a natural fiber,
Yeah.
and you don't want it so tight around your ribs that your nipples pop out of your ears. You know what I mean? Like just and not everybody's boobs are the same. Like some people have athletic boobs where their boobs are like widespread. Some people have boobs like that are super close together and they would have cleavage no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah, the same can be said of balls. If we're going to keep that some people have big balls, and some people have not so big balls. Some people's balls are close together. You know? It's
okay, I have a question. So women have this thing where a lot of times like one boob is bigger than the other boob. Do you guys have like one ball hangs lower or one
they're
ball
designed,
is bigger?
They're designed for one to hang lower so you don't kick yourself in the nuts if you have to run from a polar bear. That's important. If they were on the same level, you would run into them a lot. So they're made just a little off of each other so they can move freely in the sack, as it were. But I've never really paid much attention to the size of a ball. I think they're pretty identical, right?
The polar bear part.
The
One
polar
ball,
bear
two
part
ball,
is
red ball.
important. It's the most threatening thing I could imagine at the time. You know, ancient man did run from polar bear nude through the snow. That was normal.
Oh, that'd be so cold. Anyway, welcome to Horseshoes and
Testicles
Grenades, where we
good
talk
and
about boobs and
drawn
balls.
up, drawn up into your body. You're so
Boobs and
afraid.
balls. That's what
Yeah.
the song should be: boobs and balls and boobs and balls and boobs and balls and boobs and balls.
Oh,
A polar bear.
Sub makes a solid point. No one pays attention to ball size until something almost hits it. I look forward to when Jacob comes to me and he's like, Steven, you didn't warn me that 3-year-olds punch you in the nuts on a daily basis.
Yes, he did.
Because I'm telling you, my nuts were, when Sam was just the right height to just run full tilt into me and just punch me right in the testicle. You'll never make your kid more afraid. When you go, and you just fall over on the ground and they're like, I think I killed daddy. And your mom's like, you did, sweetheart. You did, but he'll be okay.
I wonder if that's like all the revenge for the bitten nipples in the middle of the night when the baby's like tired and he just like takes his teeth and you're like, that was attached.
Your rambunctious little boy will destroy your testicles. It's part of the game.
Good luck with your nuts, sir.
It is. It's fine. You recover. You just hate it when it happens. Anyway. Good way to start the show. I'm glad we went from celebrities to testicles. However we did that, no one knows, but we managed it. If it's what we make good segue. Where are my buttons? Sounds there with them.
Where has Punch People?
Where am I? Yeah, Jesse. I got a good headbutt today for my 3-year-old. See, I'm telling you, they'll wreck you.
Their skulls are made out of like
titanium.
Yes, I went graphite, aluminium. Neither one of those are hard. What's another hard thing? Ignore me. Yeah,
we'll just keep going from that. Factoid of the week.
Yep.
The original name for the search engine Google was Backrub. Backrub.
Wait, what?
It was renamed Google after the googol, which is the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. That's a googol. That's good to know.
Wait, how did we go from Backrub to googol?
It seemed like a natural place to go, I guess. I don't know. How did Google go from just being a search engine to owning everything and having all the information about everyone?
I still think about that joke about Google like writing their name with lasers onto the moon, and I'm like, I don't know that that's too terribly far from.
that feels possible.
Yeah,
That's not that
that is
far
not
off.
an improbable thing.
Right. I could see Google just sending a drone to the moon to just draw it with its robot finger. Like, just
Yes.
etching it in the dust. Once it's in the dust, it won't go anywhere. There's no wind or atmosphere. Just if you put your name in the dust, it will stay there forever. So, that's a good idea. We should
Why
go to
doesn't
the
the moon get wind?
because there's no atmosphere in the moon. So the moon is in space. Like we're in space, but there's like air. But the moon is just a rock.
What
in
What
space.
traps the air? Is it the magnetic field?
Haven't you watched Spaceballs? That weird shield with the window in it.
Okay.
That's what the air is in. Duh. Like,
Okay.
it's just got that window. So when NASA,
My
when they talk
bad.
about like the weather's bad or they have to line up particular ways, it's because they got to be where the window is and it opens up. They put the code on the door. 1, 2,
So
3,
what
4,
if you
5.
lived under the window? Like, wouldn't you get?
No, I mean, I'd imagine it would start, the window would just kind of suck the air out from the top first.
Steven, do you like
You know?
cauliflower?
No, I don't.
Really?
Cauliflower is not a replacement for a chicken wing, and I love you, but it's
Wow.
not a replacement for a potato.
I'm sorry, but the mashed cauliflower that I make is so good.
Do you put...
So I prefer it to mashed potatoes.
That's wrong, what you said. How much
It's got
garlic do you
bacon,
put
you
in
put
your
bacon
cauliflower?
fat in it and butter, and it's delicious. It's
And
so
garlic.
good and creamy and wonderful, and it doesn't make you blah because it's a potato.
I really love potatoes. Potatoes are God's gift to mankind.
They're so bad for you. They're so bad for everything.
Who are
we
you?
eat
What
is-
if you are a pod person? You have taken Ashley and you have done away with her. Because the minute you start saying a potato is not something you want, I don't believe that you're human anymore.
I ate French fries yesterday.
Okay, good.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, now you say that. I'm still
I'm
convinced you
not
might be
saying
dead.
I don't want them. I'm saying that because they are nightshade and inflammatory, they are not good for you.
Nothing's good for you. Breathing
Nothing.
oxygen is not good for you.
You're literally oxidizing yourself to death with every breath you take.
Life is a terminal disease. Like, no one gets
With
out of
enough bacon, fat, and butter, my shoe is delicious.
Yeah, right?
Ugh.
nothing. No one gets out of this race alive. Like we're gonna go. Memento mori, baby. It's gonna happen.
Oh, show me your tattoo.
Oh,
This
shoot,
is like
yeah.
on your butt.
I got a pretend tattoo because I'm a wimp. It's an ink box tattoo. They make.
It looks so cool.
I can't get a
though.
good angle because it's on my forearm, but it says fairly well known on it. So
It's
dumb.
hyphenated and everything.
Yeah, it's so great. Stephanie made it for me. She went to Inkbox, which is like Inkbox is, you know how those henna tattoos you can get at the beach where they last for 2 weeks or something ridiculous? It's kind of that, but in temporary tattoo, they can just ship it to you, and you just put it on
I
your
did
arm
one
for
when
an
I
hour.
was sitting looking for you and Steven last year, or for you and Steven, you and Jacob, when I bought people presents.
Yeah,
I
remember
have
those
not
days.
bought anyone one single present for any reason at all in 2020.
Don't do it. What's the point? You got enough troubles.
Wait, what does Sam want for his birthday?
Everything.
I called your
The
wife
world.
and she's just like, can't be bothered with talking to you twice in one day. Man.
Look, the times are tough, man. The times
That's
are
what
tough.
she said. She's like, look.
He puts on the face to do the show. No, everything's great. But no, the tattoo. What does he want? I don't know what he wants. Everything. Name it. It changes on a daily basis. The other day he was like, "Daddy, there's a game." And I'm like, "Oh gosh." While I'm trying to work, it does not compute to him not to come in here. I'm like, Sam, like I gotta do this job. So he comes in, he's like, "Daddy, there's a game I want." And I was like, "What game is it?" Newer Super Mario Brothers. I'm like, there's no newer Super Mario Brothers. Where did you hear this? Because he watches kids YouTube. What's newer
Oh.
Super Mario Brothers? No, there's a newer Super Mario. Sam, there's no way there's a newer Super Mario Brothers. Just new Super Mario Brothers and new Super Mario Brothers 2. Newer Super Mario Brothers. I know it exists. I'm like, okay. All right, fine. I'll Google it. I Google it. Sure enough, it exists. But it's a hack. It's a hacked ROM that someone made, and he's like, I want that on my DS. It's like, can't do that. He's like, yes, you can. You can do anything. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I am both very appreciative of your comments, and I'm also very annoyed that you won't believe me. Like that I can't put this on your DS because it's a hacked ROM. You just you get Super Mario the ROM from the internet, and then you patch it with this whole new game, and you play it on an emulator. Luckily, I finally talked him into it. I was like, let me show you. After like just desperately trying to get back to what I was doing.
I was like,
Anyway.
I imagine you took an hour out of your day to convince your child that he was wrong.
I had to go jump on the trampoline with him today. I had a break between like all the stuff I was doing. I was like, you know what? We're going outside. It's pretty. We're going to jump on the trampoline for 30 minutes. He's like, really? I'm like, yes. He jumped for a total of 15. And he's like, I'm done now. I'm like, okay, now I know what the game is. Now I just need to find a break in the day where I can be like, we're going to go jump on the trampoline. And then he'll get tired and I'll be able to go back to my job. Do what I'm supposed to do.
I called Stephanie today and I'm like, I'm dying. Do you want to go on a walk? She's like, no, honestly, no. And I'm like, will you go on a walk anyway? She's just like, no. I'm like, will Sam go? I was like, I'll take Sam. Let me take Sam on a walk. She's like, Sam doesn't like walks. I'm like, can you ask him? She's like, no, he's doing this. And I'm like, can I come over and jump on the trampoline with Sam? She's like, Ashley, I have to go. Sam's having a meltdown. And I'm like,
You're barking up the wrong tree today.
I need friends. I'm
Yeah.
going to die. I called
Yeah.
Jill. She didn't answer. I called Marie. She didn't answer. My other friend is working part-time and she's trying to hold on till April 2nd to when she could quit. And I'm like,
Yeah, you're just like, is there any friends? Anyone?
Mom and Dad were supposed to come over, but they bailed. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll die alone.
I mean,
me
they're
and my child
70
and my
years
husband.
old. Yeah, I mean that's the way grandparents did it. They died alone by themselves.
No,
in
they
the
did. They had
woods.
15 children and nobody moved more than 3 miles away.
That's true.
Nobody
That's
died alone. You didn't take a shit alone because everybody used the same outhouse.
gross. Like at the same, like you ever seen one of those outhouses that it's a big 5 potty in a room, outhouse, and everybody's like just everybody sits beside each other and takes a dump.
I don't understand. Steven, what about like any sort of camp? You know, like they say camping, but I'm like, it's just not your house, but it's a bunch of houses outside. Like,
Sure.
okay, you're not camping. You're at a camp, but it's not camp, right? You know what I mean? Like, what about that makes people think that you can't put a fucking wall between a toilet? I'm like, even if it's just like something that's opaque. Like, how much extra money does it cost to get like a little MDF board and stick it between 2 toilets? You don't even, I mean, it can still be 2 feet off the ground. I can see your damn knees. I don't care, but just some kind of modicum of like privacy.
Yeah, we don't do that in America. What's funny is Americans, we think we're so prudish and that we're like private, but you go to Europe and everyone gets their own closet. Like you go in and you get a closet to poop in. It's full top to bottom, no feet. Nobody can see your feet. It's actual privacy. They come over here, they're like, "You guys' bathrooms is everyone's real exposed."
Right? Like the zombie clown is going to stick its head under. Like I hate bathrooming, especially when like the lights are flickering somewhere.
Yeah, like yeah, ding ding ding. You can hear it like tink 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 is flickering.
Yeah. What is the tink tink? Why does it
The
tink?
fluorescence. I don't know. I wish I knew. I do not have an answer for you. The Best Buy bathroom in Tallahassee did that. You'd go in there because that was a good clean place where nobody will bother you. But you'd be sitting in there doing your business, and all the while it's like Silent Hill. Like you're just convinced that a murderer is going to come in and try to eat you. So that my go-to.
There's
bathroom,
some bathrooms that like I would take my knife out and have it in my hands with me. I'm like, I am so uneasy in this bathroom. Like an alien's gonna get me, a serial killer or a zombie. Something is going to eat me.
Well, I mean, too, you're like you're at your most vulnerable. Like there's no way you're getting out of there.
Yeah, because women have to sit down regardless. Like
Sure.
we don't even have the chance to stand up. Like we have to rise from a sitting position no matter what
Yeah.
and pull our pants up. We don't have the option to like stick a hose through a little envelope.
Wish people were more like horses. We could just poop
Right?
while walking around.
What? Okay. So I was thinking about, the Bible verse, we're fearfully and wonderfully made, right? And I'm thinking about like, dude, like God made some cool things. I'm like, but why the shit did he put my vagina and my butthole inches away from each other? Like, sexy time is less sexy if you think about it too hard. Yeah. Why are you laughing?
Because it depends on who you are and what you're into. Some people love the idea that butts are right next to everything else. I'm not a butt person.
It's a waste valve, right? So I'm like, okay, Jeremy McJermison, and then like something you want to keep relatively effing clean because it's a hole inside you.
Sure,
with
yeah.
moisture. Like, I don't want feces germs in my vagina.
I don't know how to help you there. I don't know. I don't know how to solve this problem.
I feel like, okay, so if I could dial God and be like, I have one question. I would ask, like, why did you make the playground next to the toxic waste dump? Like, nobody wants to play near a toxic waste dump. I broke Steven.
I'm dead. I got nothing. That's great. That's end the show, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you next time. Oh gosh, that was so good. Nobody wants the playground next to the. No, we haven't. Oh, it might be a Robin Williams joke, but I didn't know that, and neither did Ashley. So it's our joke today. Look, as long as you came up with it with no input from anywhere else, you win. It's your joke.
I'm sure lots of people have had that thought though, because except I don't know, maybe Germans. Germans are like, yeah.
The Germans are all about it. I mean, if you can, if you're down with blood sausage, you can get real weird.
Jenna said toxic waste comes out our vagina too.
Are you letting Jenna watch this show? She's not old enough.
That's bad, Kelly.
Tell her to go to sleep. World news, he says as he desperately looks for his button. Good gravy. Sometimes I forget the volume's so loud. Edinburgh woman bit off man's tongue in a street brawl before a seagull swooped down and ate it.
What?
That's massively inconvenient.
That is the best reaction to that ever. Period. Well, that's so British. Blimey, that's inconvenient.
That's no good. A violent brawl between a man and a woman in Scotland's Edinburgh ended with a seagull flying away with a tongue. The woman, identified as Bethany Ryan, bit a large chunk of James Mackenzie's tongue when she lent to kiss him during the fight. Wait, what? They lent to kiss him during the fight. That's weird. Shortly after, a large seagull swooped in out of nowhere and ate a part of James Mackenzie's tongue. The bird then flew away with it. Bethany pleaded guilty to assaulting James and admitted kissing him and biting off part of his tongue. The chunk of Mackenzie's tongue, which the seagull took away, reportedly was approximately 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters in size. She kissed him on the lips, and during the course of that, she bit through his tongue, which caused a piece of his tongue to be removed. Prosecutor Susan Dixon told the Edinburgh Sheriff Court, Mr. Mackenzie walked off and spat it out, at which point the piece of muscle was picked up by a large seagull that made off with it. After the incident, Mackenzie was taken to the hospital, but a reattachment surgery could not be performed as the piece of his tongue was not found. I feel like that was pretty obvious. Like, can you put it back on? Well, do you have it? No. Well, then, no, sir, we can't. What do you skin graft? Where do you get a tongue from? Like, if you need to...
Cow?
Hey, maybe. I mean, they can replace your parts of your body with other weird parts of other people's bodies. What if it's like cadaver tongue? Can they put that on there? That'd be gross. Like old man spleen muscle? Maybe. This is the worst.
What
this
the
is the
F,
worst.
Jacob?
Jacob's been grabbing some really gnarly stories. My mom, I was talking to her, she's like, I listened to your show, it's really funny, but I almost had to turn it off. I was like, why? And she's like, well, if you don't remember the story, I'm not going to repeat it. I was like, what story did we tell?
And then I remembered I literally don't remember after it's done.
And then I said, "Oh, I know. It was the underwear thing, the underwear purchase system thing." She was just so grossed out.
I had to go halfway through because because Jacob and I talked about it after. He's like, "Did you really know?" I'm like, "No, I thought it was like a face mask that you wear for beauty, like not just shoving." Okay, the thing that got me because he said that there was a butthole one.
Oh yeah.
But
We
I'm
don't
like,
have to
what?
talk about
Like,
it
I feel
again.
like you would get pink eye if you wore somebody's butt fuzzies on your face.
I told Sam once when he was 2 that if you farted on somebody's pillow, you get pink eye, and he
Still
remembered
talks
it.
about
He
that.
still remembers it, and he'll be like, "What? You're gonna get pink eye if you poot on somebody's." He pooted on like one of his animals, and he threw it at me. He said, "You're gonna get pink eye." I was like, "I love you. I love you so much."
That neural connection was strong.
But it held. It held, baby. That one stuck. All the things you want to stick don't stick. All the things you don't want to stick, they're in there forever, rattling around in that brain till the end of time. I think the tongue is probably the second worst thing to lose, if you ask me. But hey, it happens.
So I know beef tongue's a thing. Like one of my friends Sven, for the only person I know from Germany, sent me a picture and I was like, what is that? He's like, well, I'm making beef tongue. But it was like spicy beef tongue or something. He's like, you can do it with pig too. And I'm like, I don't okay, biting your tongue and that
Ugh.
crunch is one of
Ugh.
the worst. Like it's not. It's like you have this visceral reaction where you kind of want to projectile vomit, right? And I'm like, I don't, even if it was fantastic, I don't think I could get past
There's a texture to
the
it.
thought that it's a tongue.
There's a texture to it that you don't want a part of.
Well, I know you take the taste buds off.
What?
That in and of itself makes me want to throw up.
Ugh. Like
I would rather eat a ball. I would rather eat like a bull testicle.
Rocky Mountain oyster, baby.
Yeah, because I feel like, okay, that's not going to have that weird muscle texture, right?
How about we not just eat weird crap and just stop? Like, we don't have to anymore. We've got just tons of genetically altered food to keep us alive. We don't need to eat the testicle.
We're all screwed.
Yeah, it's...
Think of it as French kissing, but with someone you hate. All off.
Small town news. You're weird, Kelly. It's not food.
I love you people.
That's gross. I'm not a food person. Me and food, we have a relationship where I eat it to live, and otherwise I hate the inconvenience of having to eat it. I hate the inconvenience of having to cook it. I wish I could live off of air like breatharians do. But I can't. I have to eat food, and I have to eat food that just I don't want to. I would rather go an entire day and just not eat and then go to sleep. I hate it. It doesn't provide me love. Sucks. It just makes me fatter. You can watch old episodes.
The nutrient pill.
I want the nutrient pill. Because you can go back and you can watch episodes of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades from years ago, and you can just see my face getting bigger as time goes by slowly. Like just bleh. Like you go back and you look at a picture from 10 years ago, you're like, dang, I was hot. Actually, I don't look at any of those pictures. Steph and I were looking at pictures tonight, and I was like, you were smoking. And then I'm looking like, why were you with me? What on earth were you thinking? You have done everything wrong.
You've become much more distinguished as the years have gone on. Because I was thinking about it, like the years have been kind to Steven. Because like you have aged well. Like you went from kind of being like the skinny nerd kid to like and never mind.
Wasn't ever going to be my looks that got the girl. It was going to be the absolute disregard for anything cool. Like, just... somewhere in 11th grade, I just went, I'm never going to be cool, in quotes. So I'm going to just do whatever I need to do to be the complete opposite of that and hope for the best.
Was that something, like, I never remember being worried about being cool. I remember being worried about like feeling normal because people called me weird all the time, and I'm like,
You wore dog
Okay.
collars to school. Like, yeah, you were weird, but that's fine.
Okay.
Good.
I was thinking about this the other night because, and I don't know why, there are people in your lives, especially like in high school and stuff growing up, where they're not snobs, they're righteous and they're right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I
Like
got you.
they're self-right, but anything that goes against what they intrinsically believe is right becomes something that's like kind of scary and weird, and that's wrong to them. Like even if it's not, you know what I mean? Like so you run up against this and you're hit by this wall of how fiercely they believe in what they believe in, that it makes you question yourself, and I hate those people. I would rather be up against a snobby bitch where you're just like, "Oh, go fuck yourself,"
Yeah.
than those righteous assholes that, nothing can convince them of anything other than what they believe. Because I'm like, you grow up to be adults. You grow up to be self-righteous adults. Something insurrection. Anyway,
Yeah,
man fakes
you're
his
right.
kidnapping
Yeah, get on with the chlorophyll.
to, to get out of work.
Wait, what? Kidnapping. What a wonderful choice.
Oops. An Arizona man was arrested for reporting false information after police say he faked his own kidnapping earlier this month. The elaborate scheme included a dramatic backstory about loads of cash hidden in the desert. But the most surprising part of the story may be the man's reason for faking the kidnapping in the first place. Brandon Souls, 19, was found earlier this month roughed up and helpless, telling police he was kidnapped. How do you
He's
how do
the
you be
scene from
helpless?
Liar Liar where Jim Carrey's beating the crap out of himself.
Just banging his head close in the
It's
toilets.
like, "Brr, brr, brr."
Yay! I can't stand people who DPS Pally sub. I get that joke.
Mhm.
Souls explained that he was kidnapped over a large amount of money that his father hid somewhere around town. He informed us that he was hit in the head and stuffed in a car in front of his home. But when we located video surveillance in front of his home, we were able to see that no such thing happened, said Commander Mark Turso to Kirko
Darn ring
Sir.
doorbells ruining everything.
Whoopsies. When he was later brought in for questioning, police said he admitted that he fabricated the story because he didn't want to go to work. Our community is still safe and there are not two masked men running about kidnapping people, Kirko said.
Why? What job? You're an idiot before you're in your like late 20s. You might still be an idiot, but
25.
you're
25, your
definitely.
brain is not working right.
Oh gosh, like Stephanie was showing me embarrassing videos while in continuing on this reminiscing thing. We're going through these videos of me. Like anytime she put a camera on me, I would just start talking. Shocking to anyone who knows me, but would just start talking. And some of the things I said, I'm like, oh my gosh. For what?
Remember
What?
when we used to do the talkies around Morgantown and like
Oh
there was
gosh,
never
yeah.
any dead air?
No, we just constantly go. And I'm just saying stuff like really opinionated thoughts about tattoos for some reason. I'm like, who am I? What is this idiot? I was probably 23, 22. Like complete bonehead. Complete bonehead. I regret everything that has ever been recorded of me before like age 30. It's stupid. None of it's okay. But yeah, this guy, like, I don't know what his job is, but there was a better way. Just like call in and say I'm throwing up and pooping on myself at the same time. You know, like
Like at what point do you go, oh Lord, there's pictures of him with his hands behind his back in the dirt?
like really, he's been through it. Are you watching the video? Is that what's going on
Yeah.
here? Let's
This
see.
is how 19.
I don't want to listen to you. I just want to show everybody what's going. Oh, poop. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he really
no.
sold it. You know, he's
Yeah.
he really tried to convince. That's a lot of work. I feel like he could have just gone
That's
to
more
work.
work than going to work. What do you do? Shit.
Yeah, just don't. I mean, maybe maybe he's trying to get away from a real bad situation. I mean, who knows? I don't get it.
There's the tire factory. He works at the tire factory, Jake or Steven.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about a tire factory. I remember applying for a job at a rubber factory once in West Virginia, desperate to go to where my wonderful girlfriend was. Like, hey, and I remember interviewing with the guy. He's like, there's a lot of stuff in the air around here. You'll be the only IT guy in the whole place. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, I will come do that tomorrow. Do you need me? He didn't hire me. His mistake.
Yeah, Mello said just quit.
Yeah, just quit your job. Find a new one. Go literally anywhere else. Anyway, what's next? News Bear Left Untold. Customs agents in Cincinnati seized 44 pounds of cornflakes covered in cocaine instead of sugar. That'll wake you up in the morning.
Oh my God, I want cornflakes now.
I want cornflakes with cocaine. That's Frosted Flakes.
I
really.
get it.
Yeah, Coke Flakes. What's another word for blow? Blow flakes. That's gross.
Two Dorks presents Blow Flakes.
Blow flakes. Good for your, you snort them. You just put a big bowl of them. Oh man, you remember those days when you could, you were home alone and you could get one of those big mixing bowls and just dump half a box of cereal in it and just sit on the couch and try to eat it before.
That when you were visiting, because I wanted to leave you little teeny bit of cereal.
I wanted to hide the second box of Cocoa Pebbles and leave you just enough Cocoa Pebbles. Ashley and I go to war over Cocoa Puffs and Cocoa Pebbles. It is the end of time. But you would always get up at 2 p.m. I'd had several bowls of Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, but then you felt like shit, so either way I won.
Yeah, and then I'd feel bad I ate all the Cocoa Puffs. It felt really good at the time, but now I regret it. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol seized a shipment of cereal from South America that was covered in cocaine instead of sugar. CBP officers in Cincinnati, Ohio, intercepted the package on February 13th containing cocaine-coated cornflakes, according to a news release. That's what we call C4 in the industry.
I get what you did there.
The cocaine on the cornflakes weighed 44 pounds. Oh, that's not the total cornflakes. That's the cocaine on the cornflakes.
How do you get the Coke off the flakes?
No, I don't is there a process? Is there a cocaine remover system? Oh yeah, we ran all these through there, got all the cocaine off. While working on an incoming freight from Peru, a CPD narcotic detector dog named Biko flagged the cereal shipment going to a private residence in Hong Kong. Upon further inspection, officers found and tested white powder on the cereal that was positive for cocaine. The men and women at the Port of Cincinnati are committed to stopping the flow of dangerous drugs, and they continue to use their training, intuition, and strategic skills to prevent these kinds of illegitimate shipments from reaching the public. Cincinnati Port Director Richard Gillespie said, on a typical day in fiscal year 2020, CBP said it seized 3,677 pounds of drugs at ports of entry across the nation. Wow.
The microphone stinks.
Where did those, probably because you've been breathing on it. How far up your butt did you put it?
It kind of does smell like an anus.
No, it's probably, you breathe on it, you talk to it, take the fuzzy thing off, and it won't smell like an anus anymore. See if it's the fuzzy thing.
Are we supposed to, wash this thing?
No, I don't think so. Maybe, was someone eating cereal
the inside
over
of
the
it
microphone?
Smells good.
Can you turn it inside out? This is great radio. No, you can't turn it. You'll probably rip it. I can get you a new one. You want a new one? Thanks to all of our patrons over there at patreon.com/2dorks.
No, I don't know. Something smells.
Maybe it's your upper lip.
Okay, Joel.
That's ASMR right there.
Little ASMR. Oh my God, my baby. If you start and gently rubbing his face, he just goes.
He's got it. It's
it just turns him, he just powers down.
Shuts off.
I was rubbing his face because I would say I love you and then boop his nose, but just softly, and he was just like,
yeah, he's got the ASMR.
I'm like, yes.
It's a gift. I love it. The things that just blow, I just shut down. Stephanie, it doesn't happen to her. She doesn't have that.
Her and Jacob
that
just
vibe.
make fun. They're
I
like,
listen
you're
to
so
a song
weird.
and I'm like, whoa, what just happened? That's awesome. That sound is great. What happened? And then it's like, not like weird. Quit being weird about it. But like it just goes in your ears and you're just like, this is awesome. And then I'm like, Stephanie, listen
music
to this.
does that to me.
Listen to this. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, you don't feel it? It made me sit here and cry. I cried today after watching Superman and Lois open. So look, it's no secret around here that a movie, a show, a sound, I will cry like I do it. I just tear up like nothing you've ever seen. And I watched the opening scene of Superman and Lois because I love me some Superman. I'm like, I got to see how they did. How are they rolling with this? What's the attitude of the show?
It's a new show?
Yeah, on CW. Thing made me tear up, Smash, because Superman's doing his thing, talking about his parents. There's beautiful music playing, and he goes to Metropolis and saves some kid from a falling car. And then he walks up to the kid, and the kid's like, hey, thanks. And he's smiling, and he hands the kid his hat back that flew off in the incident. And he's like, the kid goes, that's a cool costume. Superman goes, thanks, my mom made it for me. And then flies off, and I'm like, that's the sweetest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I just died. I just died. Like, could you imagine, like, Superman's just like, my mom made it for me? That's the sweetest thing. People loving people will get me right there in the heart every time.
Are they making it sweet and hopefully not super gritty? Like they're making everything else
gritty. I don't know. I mean, I only watched the first. It was like a 4-minute thing. But it's like Superman and Lois are in Metropolis and they've got 2 kids. And that's how the show kind of takes off. I don't know. Superman with kids has always been kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
Because how far do you go with it? What happens? Yeah. I don't know. But it looked cool. I like the guy playing Superman. He seemed like he had the Clark Kent bit down pretty good too.
Really?
So yeah. Yeah, he'll spend a minimum of 25% of the season shirtless. He is attractive. So I get, yeah.
I feel like the last year has absolutely broken me. I told Jacob, I'm like, I need to cry. Like, so much has happened. I need to cry, but I can't. Like, I literally just can't. I'm like, okay, so like, because last year I'm like, I had a baby, and then my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and then they're like, okay, well, he may have dementia, and like, yada 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 yada. And I'm like, I should be able to cry right now, and like, there's no help. There's nobody come over babysitting your kid so you can have a break. You can't go on a date because the world shut down. You can't see your friends. And I'm like, why can't I cry? Like, I would like to cry. I would like to sit in a hallway and just cry, but I can't. And I'm like, I think my brain broke. Like, I think I'm broken.
No.
Like, I think I can be mad.
Yeah, you got a lot of anger.
And that's it.
You got a lot of anger in there. Well, get angry enough that it drives you to tears. I just watch TV shows and it gets my feelings going. That's
if I got angry enough, Stephanie would do that. Stephanie, if she got angry enough, she would cry. If I got angry enough, I would kill you.
I don't know. So I kind of feel where you're coming from because I don't know how many times I've cried over a life event. It took me 2 weeks to finally cry that Sam was alive. You know what I mean? Like, I know Jacob was crying like the minute that Tater Tot was born. It took me 2 weeks to get there. Like before it finally settled enough. So I'm like, dang, I'm a dad. Like, I mean, that should happen instantly. I was robbed. But it was one of those, but then like,
oh yeah, that is true. I feel like you should have been a blubbering mess.
I should have been a blubbering idiot.
I had a baby, and I'm like, do I nurse it now? What do I do with lump?
You make me feel so much better. Like that. Like I just feel like I have a kindred spirit because I've had multiple people pass away on me, and I don't think I cried for any of them. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to like. I've asked other people. They're like, I've never cried at any of my relatives passing away, and I'm like, why are we not doing that? Like that seems like the only time you should.
Right?
And you're just like sitting there like, well, that happened. That's tragic. I'm gonna miss them. And then you're like alone.
I feel like our brains are trying to protect us. They're like, well, you repressed everything else, so let's just shove this down somewhere too.
You're a wonderful actor in your life. Let's just make it easy. We'll just cut off that thing. That way you can hold it together while everyone around you's falling apart. That's your job.
The world is burning. You're like, There is no one else to do this, so we're gonna take up the poopy child and stick him in the bathtub, and it'll be fine.
It's like you know that the other people in your life are going to absolutely fall apart and buckle at the knees. So we're gonna make sure you can make it. You are the thing that is gonna be like, I got you.
Steven, like the world's gonna be burning, and Steve and I are gonna be like,
like I got
Twinkies?
you, fam. I'll do my emotion stuff later. You do it. You go ahead. You break down first. I'll come along in a few weeks when I've forgotten why I'm
Adam
upset.
apparently had a breakdown too, and Christine. I just remember going, "Yay, we did the thing! Can I effing go home now?" And Jacob's like, "Blah blah 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 blah, baby." And I'm like, "Oh, it's really cute. He shit on himself. Does he like? What do we wipe him off for?"
I was so afraid because Stephanie had been cut open. It'd been
Yeah, that was
26
bad.
hours since we last slept. And then, like, she starts to fall asleep on the one bed while they're cleaning Sam on another bed. I'm like, everything that means anything to me in the world right now is in various states of, like, bad. Just bad. This is all bad. Everything's going. So it's like, yeah, I was stressed. Is she supposed to fall asleep? Because if she falls asleep and dies, I'm going to be real mad. Like, can we...
like, you can't just leave me with this thing after you kill my wife. No, thank you.
You wake up. You wake up. He's, whatever, the doctors have him. I need you. Oh, gosh. Life's so hard. WTF. WTF. I feel like you and I are very open on the show, and we're just gonna get like, everyone's just gonna know our internal operations. I guess it's fine.
Like I said, I don't know how to. Is this? Oh, is it my turn?
I think so.
Typo on government issued travel registration letter directs callers to sex hotline. Yes.
Yes.
This happens so often. I'm like, just hire someone to double. The Public Safety Department is apologizing for a clerical error on a government issued letter that mistakenly directed callers to a phone sex hotline. The letter sent out to, I'm going to sneeze.
Let it happen. Just go.
Oh, I talked about it. It's shy.
Bananas. But allergies suck. The pollen here is just off the charts. It's so stupid. It's not. There aren't even leaves on the trees yet. It's like high pollen index. You're gonna die.
I keep my house so moist that the pollen all falls to the floor, and I vacuum 15 times a day because my child's obsessed with it. So,
I mean, hey, go for it.
No allergies. I really wanted that sneeze. The letter sent out to residents of.
I mean, I can read, and I don't even know what that says. Let's do.
Lista Gucci.
Lista Gucci. Luigi.
Point de la Croix.
Point la Croix. Point. You hate French. That makes me so happy.
Point de la Croix. Earlier this month, it's like a freaking wharf. Contained information about registering. Where the hell is this? Is this in the United States?
No, it's Point de la Croix.
Lista Luigi. What? Someone map me this, because where is this?
I'll find out. It's America, yo.
It advised residents to call the government's travel registration line for further information, provided a phone number for them to use. But several Luigi residents who did so were astonished to be greeted by this recorded message delivered in a come hither female voice. Welcome to America's hottest talk line.
Do people do that still? Is that still a thing?
I don't know.
Why would you
Guys,
do that?
hot ladies are waiting to talk to you. Ladies,
Canada.
to talk to interesting and exciting guys free. Press 2 now. Okay, well, so what if, like, ladies also wanted to talk to the hot ladies?
I'm sure they can.
I don't know.
What?
Corrine Enos, a communications officer with the Public Safety Department, said the letter was sent out to 140 residents of Luigi and Pointe de la Croix.
It's
she
in
said
French
the typo
Canada.
was a Canada.
Yeah, French Canada, like above Maine.
French Canada.
Yeah.
The Canadians, oh, sorry to bother you. A clerical error that was not identified until after the letters were mailed out. Department has sent the letters to recipients explaining the error with the correct phone number. We regret the error and any confusion. I would like to know like how far off it was.
Yeah, like how many is it just to transpose 2 digits?
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't list the thing. That's okay, so mom took dad to PT today after a year of us nagging dad to go. So they finally because they both had their 2 shots, so dad's doing PT. Yay. Um and apparently when mom was giving them the email, because I'm on their account, and the lady just splooged on the keyboard. And it's like your email has been updated to this, but the .com wasn't even
It
.com. It was
wasn't.
.vom. And I'm like, did you even try? Like what?
Home row keys.
It had and I actually thought the 3 X's in it where I'm like, well, maybe they just blanked out the email. But no, there were literally 3 X's in it. 3 X's .vom. And I'm like,
Somebody didn't want to do their job that day, it sounds like.
no.
And they were just like, F this game. Or their keyboard was messed up. That can happen. Unlikely.
Like, why wouldn't you just leave the email alone?
Yeah, why touch it to begin with?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I thought that they'd gotten hacked because I was like, what? Who logged in and changed his email to some other email? Because, man, health records are the #1 target for hackers. Believe it or not, like, nobody gives a flip about your bank stuff. All the good stuff's in the health records. So they're like, that's why there's social security numbers in there. There's your entire history. There's your birthday. There's all this stuff. I'd imagine it's just a wealth of information they can use to verify they are you if they need to with other services. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they got everything they need to be able to say, no, this is totally me. I'm pretending. Or I'm not pretending. I am the person.
No, like, it's so. I feel like it's the dude that faked his kidnapping not to go to work. I'm like, if you're gonna invest that much effing time, just go the fuck to work.
Just do it. By the time, yeah, it's like when you're talking to your kids and you're like, would you just clean your room? And you argue for like an hour, and you're like, we would have been done if you would've just, all I wanted. I don't even want you to clean the whole room. I just want you to put those toys back in that box. That's it. Those toys, that box, and I'll consider it a step in the right direction, and we'll just move on. But then you're like, you're just headbutting each other.
I'm not looking forward to that because mom never made Stephanie and I clean up. And I'm sure you remember my bedroom and our playroom.
I'll never forget the slice of pizza in the playroom over a weekend. I'll never forget it. Like, I learned everything I needed to know about your cleanliness level when I found a slice of pizza on a plate on the couch, not even like on a nightstand or end table, just sitting on a couch cushion for a weekend. And you had been in there multiple times. You know, I mean, granted, you didn't get up and bother to talk to anybody till about 6 p.m. in those days. But still, like, it was just absolutely insane. At least it was on a plate.
At least it was on a plate.
Good gracious. My mom, I mean, look, my mom didn't make me clean my room as much as tell me to clean my room, and I would shove everything in the closet and just, like, close the doors and hope they stayed shut, or shove everything under my bed. I remember me and my buddy Luke, we had just ransacked my bedroom when I was like 5 or 6, and we just shoved everything under the bed. Mom was like, this is not what I wanted. The floor is clean. The floor is totally spick and span, baby. But there was just a mountain of stuffed animals and G.I. Joes and Ghostbuster crap shoved under my bed.
I don't think I ever saw the floor in my bedroom.
No.
Ever.
No. Well, you
like there wasn't even a pathway. There was just you just stepped over shit.
That's why no one went in there. I never went in your room till we were moving you out. There was no point in going in there. It made me physically ill to walk in there. Not because it was gross.
So I knew where everything was, though. I knew where everything was, and my bed was a nice little gerbil. Like I don't like it. Never bothered me. I'm just like I know where everything is. This is fine until I would see a spider. If I saw a spider, I would kind of like pick up.
You're like, I probably should move some of this stuff. I was not a clean freak like I am now. Like, I'm kind of nuts. I'm a little bit crazy.
It's the only thing you can
About
control right now.
Well, sure. I love cleaning in a sense that I don't give a flip about dust. If you hand me a can of what's that spray stuff? Lysol spray, furniture polish to clean stuff.
Twitch.
I'm like, I hate this and I don't want to do it. And if you're like, well, go in the bathroom and scrub off the faucets, I hate it. But I will clean up clutter and I will put it where it goes because I like my floors to at least I don't like stuff on my floors and I don't like stuff on my counters. Like the minimum amount of objects on the countertop in the kitchen, minimum amount of objects on the counter in the bathroom, minimum amount of objects on the floor. I'm great. I feel like my brain is clean. But then Stephanie will be like, Steven, there is 1.5 inches of dust on top of your computer. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's where the computer's where it needs to be. Who gives a flip if the dust wants to rest there? Why is this a problem?
I had kind of a meltdown this morning because it's starting to get warmer, so those stupid wood roaches are coming in.
Oh yeah.
Look.
I was just showing my desk. It's not really that.
No, I got really excited because I saw movement and like broken glasses.
Your T-Rex.
I swear I think about that once a day. I'm like, my vision's based on movement.
Hello, the vendor's here. The T-Rex, he can confirm my vision is based on movement.
I love Defender's my favorite.
Do not
thing ever.
move.
The fiddle with the camera segment of the show.
Yeah, I did do that. It's a no-no. Did it anyway. Anyway, Fiesta LaCroix. What are we talking about?
I don't know. It's done.
What was that story about? Oh yeah, nudity phone.
Sex.
That's the custom on Horseshoes and Air Grenades. The last story is about wieners and stuff.
Sex and butts. If we ever have to rename our show, it's just gonna be Sex and Butts Rambles.
That would get us more listens.
Rambles and Butts.
We get banned from the iTunes store because they are on this moral high horse, but we get listened to somewhere else. Sex and Butts with Stephen and Ashley.
What's the show about this week? Well, I mean, we started the show with butts, and now we're ending it with sex.
Why do we do that? Like, why?
I don't know.
We're four. Are not. We don't. This is. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what this. I don't know why this show brings this kind of thing out. Because I guess sex and butts are funny. But we're funny in other ways, too. I remember there was a stint in, like, episode 100 where I was like, I think we need to bring the show out of the gutter. I was like,
yeah, because Stephanie's like, you guys are better than that. We're not. We're not better
I don't think
that.
so. We tried.
This is who we are.
We're pretty darn good most of the time, though. We've had a non-butt show, you know.
The ash factor is an all-corrupting force. Thank you, Sub.
Yeah,
I love you too,
torrent
friend.
Of destruction. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us on Sex and Butts. Go to the movies. We've had a blast. It's been fun as always. It is a wonderful reprieve from the insanity that is normal life, and we're happy to have done it. Happy to have been here. Happy you were here. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends. Join us on Discord. If you're not in Discord, you should be. twodorks.net/Discord. It's not that complicated. You can join in your browser and chat on the web with us. It's great. It's the best kind of place to be.
Our Discord is surprisingly positive and free of sex and butts.
It is, yeah. It's amazing. Like, it really is. The people that have joined us on there are just a top-notch group of human beings. This is just wonderful. Wonderful. But other ways you can support us, podcasting service of choice, give us a review. That'd be cool. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm Steve H&H. Ashley's Fate Kills, Phate Kills. You can also join us on Patreon, where you can join the likes of Hammer Dwarf, Og, Jesse, Adam and Christina of Geekheim, Oddly Normal One, and our parents who chip in every month to try and give us a little bit of support, which is cool, so we can buy Ashley a non-stinky funky microphone thingy, because she's clearly not okay anymore. But it's amazing. You know what? Since I saw him in the chat, shout out to Frankie U, Wordman76, who I think has listened to us since episode 3.
Yeah, I can't remember Frankie not being here.
His child has basically grown up into an adult in the time that we've been podcasting, and it's so weird, but so cool. But anyway, I don't know. Special shout out for him because he's an all-star. Hey now, you're an all-star. Anyway, we're gonna leave you guys with these words of wisdom from Shut up, Sub. Bored when episode 3 came out. Ridiculous. Francis of Assisi once said, "Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible." I'll tell myself that in the morning when I'm like, I don't want to wake up, but waking up is necessary. And if waking up is necessary, it might have been impossible. And I just did it. So booyah. I don't know what
I wake up to a child going,
Wait till he grows up and you wake up to him just going, Mom, are we going downstairs? Are you ready to go downstairs? We should go downstairs because I want breakfast. I'm hungry and I need to go pee and I need you to get up right now. And you're like, I am just now coming to consciousness. And you've already had a full-on conversation with me, and I'm not ready for this. Like, it's okay if they roll around a little and you kind of wake up while they're rolling around waking up, but no. Mine just goes like freaking Dracula, just like, whoop. Daddy, are you ready to get up? The sun is up. I'm up. I think we should go. And I'm like, what the crap? You didn't even, like, fidget. You just stood up and said, time to go. Like, go to bed.
that is for the most part, he'll roll around, but he'll sit up and he'll go, because when I tell him, do you want me to open the curtains? I move my hand like this. So he'll go, like,
get on this.
Like, there needs to be light in here because I'll fall back to sleep. And then he like crawls and grabs a pacifier and he rolls around bed for 4 hours. But his diaper's all big, and I'm like, I need to change that because it's gonna explode.
You're like, how long can I put off that diaper thing? Does he look uncomfortable?
I normally just take it off and let him run around naked.
I mean, why? This is the only time of his life where that'll be okay till college. So
yeah,
I mean,
he pees on stuff a lot, but I'm like, who gives a shit?
Just whatever. Like a cat, just lifts his leg, pees in the corner.
It's our house is hardwood floors. Who cares?
It comes out easy. Anyway, y'all are awesome. Thank you for joining us for Parenting Tech Tips. We'll see you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
Bye.